Okay guys, here we are again, slightly frustrated. Doesn't seem to matter what I do here, I'm not getting any power coming out of the CEI box, at least that's the way I'm interpreting it. I guess it means now I'm going to have to go in and go on to good old YouTube and Google and search to see if I can find something on there that'll give me an indication as to what I really should be getting, in case my assumptions are not right. I've got power going into the CDI box on one wire. There's one wire that's ground. Then there's two other wires that come out that should be feeding the, I think they've got to go through the magnetic pickups down there first and then feed back to the coil. When I go to the coils, I've got one coil that's getting hot to the touch, not super hot, but you can tell it's heating up, it's got power to it. And when I check the two wires on that, one wire has power, the other has none. And then when I check the other coil, it's cold, but there's constantly power on both of the wires going into that, which is, now we're talking using test light, not checking continuity or anything like that, or using a voltmeter, we're using a test light. So there's power coming out both sides on one coil. So I think that's right. I think power goes in around the primary windings and back out and to ground, and that builds up the power in the coil. And then when the circuit is broken, the primary circuit is broken, that causes the coil is saturated with electricity. It needs to go somewhere. So it goes out the secondary lead, so supposing there's enough power in the coil to jump that resistance that we have in the high tension lead on the secondary going to the spark plug. And there's two of them on each coil. One coil controls two cylinders. So I think it's okay for the power to be constantly going through the coil, which you think would cause it to heat up, but that's the coil that's cold. The coil that only has power coming in and no power coming out is the coil that's getting hot. I'm trying to visualize that coil maybe is short at the ground, possibly, but I do believe that I did a test on that, and maybe I'll do that again and test the continuity going into the coil, coming on the outside of the coil back to ground, and see if we got the continuity. If we've got continuity between ground, I'm trying to think how that works. One coil seems as though it's shorted. One of the coils is not working properly. I'm not sure which one. I think the one that's getting hot. See, I'm not sure if it should get warm, because power is going through it, it's not firing up, constantly got power there, and it's not being made, not making and breaking with the CDI box. So it's continuous power instead of being, like turning the ignition on, leaving the ignition on, and one coil may have power, the other one may not, but that's possible. It could be that one coil that's got the constant power, and that power is not being interrupted the way it should be when you crank it. If you turn your ignition on and don't crank it, just let your bike sit there for half an hour or whatever, I would assume a coil should warm up. I think. Maybe even both coils should warm up. So one way or the other, I don't know which coil is a problem, but I suspect one of the coils is a problem. And the wiring on the coils they're not in series. One bad coil is not going to affect the other. That's where I'm kind of confused, because if one coil were bad, the other one still should fire. And I don't think I'm not getting fire off either. I should double check that. I may be wrong, because what I've done, yes, I think I might be wrong. So I've tested this outside one for fire, and I've tested this outside one for fire, and they both come off the same coil. Yep. So I think maybe there's a little hint right there. What I need to do is put that plug back in. I need to take this inner plug out, because this is the coil that's getting warm, and test to see if we're getting anything on this one for spark. I might be getting spark on the two inner cylinders, not the two out cylinders. And if I figure that's the case, then I'll know I got a bad coil. I know which one's bad, and I can just replace that one coil, and hopefully that'll fix the problem. Let me try that. I'll let you know what I figure out here.